Hey guys, it's Justin back with Engineer's Perspective. Today I'm sharpening this Richmond Artifacts 2 and CTS-BD1N at 63 Rockwell on this Shapton Pro 1K and this Shapton Glass 8K. I'll also be trying out this 10,000 grit nagura on the glass there. A little bit about this knife is you can get it very inexpensively off of Chef Knives to Go, 70 bucks or so. Comes pretty thick behind the edge. I've thinned mine out a decent amount. BD1N it gets very hard. It's quite stainless. It is one of those slightly nitrided steels, and that's what allows it to get to that high level of hardness while being fairly stainless. The benefit of that too is it tends to have a little bit of a finer grain structure than some of the other steel choices, especially stainless in this hardness category. I will say that this Richmond isn't the best heat treat I've ever dealt with, mostly in that it has a semi-temperamental burr, so keep that in mind. But this is the only BD1N I've worked with here. So it's a great budget option. Do this, just so you can see that. Really just testing the speed of this stone. I've been happy with the speed of this stone on things like VG10. Let's try something that's a little bit harder here, 63 Rockwell. Still got quite a bit of work to do. All right, I think we got a burr. I think I raised it already over there. Definitely at the heel for some reason. I'm gonna do one more pass, safe than sorry. But it is nice when you raise just a small burr. It does just make life easier down the road. There we are. Let's try to clean this puppy up. I really need to get just one of those like tubs. I still haven't replied to Prentice Goodwin, but he made like a mobile sharpening setup out of like a Pelican case, you know, and you can just have the water in there and it's got a recirculating pump. It's pretty cool. One of those might be the way to do it. Off to the side. Shapton Glass 8K. Try out this nagura. Still not 100% sure how I feel about this thing. I think it's pretty sticky. So let me know if I'm doing something wrong that causes it to be sticky. I actually used it the other day to build up a slurry on my Veneve stones on the 800 and 1200F, and it does not stick to that resin for whatever reason. Yeah, it doesn't seem to do much cleaning of the stone, honestly. Maybe it's just so fine a grit, but it certainly will leave the little slurry. I mean, am I supposed to just use the edge of it because I'm not using it for flattening? You know, I'm just using it for slurry. Like, is that how it works? I mean, then that's just cake. Alrighty. More a good amount of that. Alright. Let's kick it. I was told that if you use a nagura, it'll feel way different. And in terms of that start there, I gotta agree. It makes the stone feel softer and grabbier, almost. I mean, this stone already does a pretty good polish. I'm expecting pretty fantastic results. Although this is a huge grit jump, so there's gonna be stray scratches. Yeah, this feels way different. Dry. Gotta pay attention to the camera. Yeah, I gotta say, that person was right. It is way different feeling with the nagura. That was a bad angle there. Yeah, it doesn't feel nearly as glassy and hard. I mean, it's not the king of feedback or anything, but yeah, it feels way different. I'm trying to think of something to compare it to. I mean, it feels more like I'm sharpening on an eraser top than it does a piece of glass. Like that's how different the grip is. Let's do some light passes here, kind of align these scratches. Some strops. Also, I will say with that slurry on here, man, the burr reduction is significantly increased, it seems like. Because that produced very little burr. All right, so for finishing, I am going to wash this burr off, or slurry off. You can see I'm just left with that residue there. Some very light passes. I mean, it's incredibly sharp already. actually just gonna finish with a couple of edge leading strokes here. I'm actually going to, just because this steel tends to have a temperamental burr, so it's clean, but it might have a little bit of burr in this section in between those two fingers there. I'm actually going to use this Scotch-Brite pad and just lightly draw it over, kind of feather off and deform that burr. This is something that I forget his name, but Japanese Knife Imports, he kind of does this. And then I know Triple B, Big Brown Bear, kind of uses the same technique, so that's kind of where I picked it up between those two. I'd say I actually prefer more to run it on like a kitchen towel. I think that's a better way to do it, but let's feel this. Just a little bit of burr. We'll see if we can't pull that off edge lead here. I actually increased the angle just a fuzz for those to really try to catch that thing in there. I mean, that feels pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Gotta say, folks, I really like the Shapton Glass 8K. I really like it. And I think that the 10K Nagura, it's just like 20 bucks, 15 bucks, might not be needed, but after that, gosh, I think it's a nice little add to kind of bring it to the next level. Let's kind of look at this finish. Finish honestly looks pretty similar to what I would normally expect. So I don't know if that changed. It might be a little bit more even than it would normally be without the Nagura, but this stone, like, I label it as like a powerful polisher. It's a powerful polisher. It really does. It brings up the shine no matter what you do. The bevel on the right side is really big just because of the way I thinned this out, but here, let's do the back of the stone. I don't know if you can see in that edge bevel the reflection of the 8000 there. You see that? So she's shiny. Very nice. I've been really bad about forgetting to grab out paper, so I'm just gonna bald my arm more for you guys. But I mean, just shaves it off my arm. Like, you could like barely even hear it come off. So very nice. Yeah, great combo right there. Yeah, as far as a 1K goes, I think it's got good enough speed, the Shapton Pro, where I enjoy that. And then I love the 8K glass. So overall, continue to recommend both of these stones, I think. So that's all I've got today. Have a good one. Bye.